Okay, so now we can look at the comprehensive example. Okay, so good afternoon once again. So let's look at this example on the double entry system. Okay, so on July 1, Mrs. Moyo started business called Moyo Limited and deposited 5,500 in a bank at the share capital. So what are the two accounts there? The two accounts are what? The bank account. Are people with me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's now quickly look at this one and the capital account. So what happens here is that on 1/7/19, this money going to the bank, 5,000. I'll be a bit fast because you have understood what is going on. Then again on 1/7/19, we have next money came for as capital, 5,500. Let's move on to the second transaction. What was the second transaction? Second transaction was it? Purchased goods. To purchase the goods.
We're going to excite.
So purchase the goods, so we're going to have a purchases account. Purchases. And what else?
I'm in class.
And the trade kings. So of course you have the debit, credit, debit. So here the purchase, so the purchase, we are simply saying purchase of 540 from trade kings on second. So meaning that on second, 7/19. So we have the trade kings. Then here, again, on this one was a giveaway 7, that is on second, 7/19. How much we bought? We bought these goods for 540. So 540 here. And then inside 540. We are done with transaction number. This was number 1 transaction. The second one was on purchases. Let's move on to the other one. The other one is what? On the 5th, recorded sales of 540 to Chongwe Council. So sales account sales, and you have Chongwe. How much was it? 450. Okay, so meaning that you have 5, 7, 19. Are people understanding what's happening here?
Yes, sir.
So Chongwe, we sold to Chongwe 450. Then Chongwe on this same date received what? The sales 450. So since we sold on credit, these ones are called debtors. So you know the credit and debit. Let's move on to the other transaction that took place. It was on what? Paid rent by check, which means the bank is involved there. So bank gave away money and paid. So we go back to the bank. So on which date was it? We check the date. It was on 60th. Okay, and that was for the rent of 450. So here 6, 7, 19. So your rent 450. So what do we do now? We should open rent account. So our rent account. So here it was on 6, 7, 19, and you put the bank. This rent was 450. So it's on the debit. Rent received. So rent account received, that's why we have put it on the debit. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So the bank gave away that amount. So now we're getting down to the other one. Okay, so quickly, so that we see. So these ones are done. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are on number. Withdrew 800 quarter from a bank for use in what? In cash deal. Okay. So which two accounts are involved here? We are talking about cash account and the bank account. So on which date? On the 10th. So on the 10th, we have so 10th, 7, 19. We withdrew cash of how much? 800. Let's open an account called cash account. So this was in 10th, 7, 19. What are we having here? Bank 800. Let's go to the other one. We go to sales for 180 in cash. So sales account and cash account. Sales for cash, which date was it? The date was the 14th July. Okay, so we have this one going for cash. 180. Then the sales account, then the cash account now. So 114, 119. We have sales 18. Let's go to the other one. The other one is what? Paid insurance in cash. So cash was going away. Which date was that? 19th. That's 22nd. Insurance and cash, 45. That is on 22nd. So cash, 22nd. So insurance. It's 45 here. Okay, so insurance, you open an account, insurance account. So insurance, you received. Okay. So it was on which date? 22/7/19, which was for cash, 45 on the debit side. So this is 45. Then we go to the other transaction. That transaction is that goods returned at 80. Goods returned value like 180 were returned by Chongwe Council. Okay, so those are called sales returns. So let's go to Chongwe Council. Chongwe Council. So we have the sales returns. Which date was it? It was on the 23rd. 23rd. Okay, so this is on 23rd. 23rd. 7/19. These are called sales returns. We sold goods to this person, then he returned to us, which were reducing the value of sales, so which is 180. So Chongwe Council returned goods, gave us back. Because credit means you are giving, debit receiving. From the 450 goods that is received, the returned goods worth 180. So open an account called sales returns account on that date. So sales returns, sales returns. Which date was it? 23/7/19. 180 came from Chongwe. Then what else? Let's go to the other transaction. So we have done these ones. Bought delivery van on credit from Toyota Zambia. So delivery van and Toyota Zambia. So van and Toyota Zambia. So we bought from these. So these are our creditor because we bought on credit. Okay, then van is an asset. We bought this van on which date? 27, okay, 2,500. So it is a 25 from Toyota. And it was on 27, 7, 19. Then here, the same date, 27, 7, 19. You have a 25 here. And this one, it was a van. It was a van. So that's a double entry system. Let's move on to the other one. Paid sundry expenses. Paid sundry expenses, 67, cash. So let's look at it. The two accounts are sundry expenses and cash. So we have the sundry expenses. This was on 31st, 7, 19, 67. It was for cash. Then we go back to the cash account. So we paid, this was on now 31st, 7, 19. So this was on sundry expense. So we have how much? 67. So we have to now balance off the accounts. From here, let's close the account. Let's close off the accounts. So we're closing off the accounts. What we mean is that the sum of the total debits is supposed to reconcile with the total credits. So meaning that where we're having the more amount here is where do we have more money? When the debit or credit, when this for the bank, I just want to show you on that on this one. So where are we having the big amount? Is only the debit, not so. Are people with me?
Yes, sir, we are.
So what you do
Yes,
is,
we
so we put where, so here check, so 55 is bigger than what you have on the credit. So just put both amount, you put 55 here. Now, what figure is assisting us to reconcile the credits? The figure that is assisting us to reconcile the credits, you simply start subtracting 55 minus 800 minus 450. So the figure that is assisting us is what? Is 4250. We are just forcing it to balance because by this figure, it's a difference. So 450, 4250. So this figure is called balance carried down in accounting. This one, it was not there because we only had these two. So this is the balancing figure. So it's the excess of debits. That's why it will say balance brought down. Balance brought down. How much is it? 4250. Okay, so we should go back where it was over. So even here, the capital was 5, this side. Even here, there's nothing, totally nothing in this side. So then even here, just put 5. So meaning here, our carried down will be this side because it's empty. So put 5. But this 5 would have been brought down where it came from, where it was over. So 5 comes down on this one. Let's go for purchases. What are we having for purchases? Purchases here is nothing. So we're going to say 540. Even here, 540. So our carried down is 540. Brought down is 540. Okay. Let's go to TradeKings. Of course, we know TradeKings, we bought items from them on credit, so they are our creditors. Here is nothing. So we're going to put 540 here. And then here, forcing matter, put 540. So meaning our carried down will be where it is nothing, 540. Then our brought down will be 540 on this end. Let's move on. We'll go to the other one. Sales. Okay. So if we go for sales, our sales value will be how much? 450 plus 18, 630. So 6 what? 630. Even here to be our 6 what? 630. So meaning I'll cut it down. There was nothing here, so I'll cut it down is 630. Our brought it down will be what? 630. I'm just wondering if people are following. Okay. If you are,
Yes, we are.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yes, we
Okay. So 450 here, 450. So meaning they cut it down always. So in this case, I'll cut it down would be here where it was empty. And it will be brought down where it was supposed to be. So brought down is 450. We are done with the rent. Let's go to cash. Our cash, we have what? So here we should do a proper reconciliation. So cash, check where it's over on the other side. So here is what? Addition of this is giving us what? 800 plus 180 is giving us what? 980. So 980 is bigger. So we put 980 here. So 980 on this end. Even here you put 980. So what are we saying? I'll cut it down. When you add these two, we subtract this one from 980. So minus 45, minus 67. So it's 868. So cut it down. Here is 80, 68. So 868. So meaning I brought down, it will be 868. So from the 960, 980 that we had, we paid for some other thing. That's why we still have a debit. Oh, so we paid for insurance and sundry expenses. Okay, so we move on to the other one. Our insurance is 45. Even here 40. So put 45. Cut it down 45. Brought it down 45. Sales returns 180. 18. Cut it down 18. So brought down 18. Total Zambia 25. Even here 25. Cut it down 25. Brought down 25. Van. Okay, so for the van is 25. 25. Cut it down, 25. Brought it down, it is 25. All right. So sundry expenses, 67, and then here, 67. Cut it down, 67. Brought down, 67. So we have balanced off the accounts. Okay. So now from here, the brought down balances are the ones that we use to go for the trial balance. So we're going to use the brought down balances to come up with what? The trial balance. So let's do a trial balance quickly in the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, so we use the brought down balances for the trial balance. So these are the balance brought downs. Even here for Chongwe, let's balance off this Chongwe. Chongwe, how do we balance Chongwe? Chongwe is our data. So here you use the larger figure on this end, We sold goods to Chongwe or to Chongwe Limited, but they retained some goods that we sold to them. So meaning, as far as this is concerned, you would say you're going to have a 270 here. That they will say that this is how much they're just supposed to give us, because they retained goods of how much? 18. So 270 as well brought down on this one. So the carried down is the balancing figure, because the total debits and credits are supposed to reconcile in every transaction. Okay. So even for the bank, we have the brought down balance of that. So meaning the trial balance here is going to be, so trial balance so you debit and credit. Okay, so you're going to say bank. How much is the bank there? The bank is how much? Only it's 4250. So 4250 bank debit, 4250, 4250. Then what else are we having? We're having capital 55. Capital. What are we having now? 55 as capital. What are we having next? Let's start speaking the gross balances. Purchases 540 debit. Purchases 540. What are we having? We're having okay. The other one is the Trade Kings, which is these are our creditors. 540. So Trade Kings, we just put creditors. We'll put here 540 plus 25. Okay, so 540 plus 25 is what? The 25 came from the Toyota Zambia, because these are also creditors. We bought on credit. So 3,000. Okay, so 3,040. Then we can go for the other one, which is the okay, sales 630. So sales 630. What are we having next? Debtors 270. Data 270. We're just picking the figures as they are on the brought down balances. Rent 450. Rent 450. Then what else are we having? We're having cash 868. Cash 868. What else are we having there? We're having okay. The other one we're having is insurance 45. Insurance 45. What else are we having? What else we're having is the van 25. So we're having van 25. Then we're also having sundry expense. It is 67. Okay, so sundry expenses was 67 here, debit or brought down debit. And then sales returns. So we have the sales returns now. Sales returns. Returns. Our sales returns on how much? 18. We have to find the total here. Okay, so the total for this one, the total is giving us what? Okay. Nine 170. 170. 55 plus 3040 plus 630. Okay, so it has also given us 917. So we have balanced up this question. So the total of the credits and the total of the debits, all these debits here. So the trial balance checks the accuracy of the double entry system. So we're just using the brought down figures here to actually balance up to come up with the trial balance. So here it will head like in accounting, it should be Moyo Limited trial balance as that. So trial balance, okay, trial balance as at T. All right, so as at T 31st July 2019. So this is how this question is supposed to be answered. Okay, I'm sure people followed. So it's just a matter of balancing up the accounts. You brought down the accounts. You bring down the accounts. So, but you use the balance brought down figures. So use the balance brought down figures. Balance brought down figures to take them to to the trial balance. So the balance brought down figures. So if this one is a creditor, you aggregate. This one is a creditor, and then the other creditors, all the creditors, you aggregate, you sum them up. So that's why the 540 was added to Toyota Zambia was also our creditor. So the 25 was actually added to the 25 was added to 540. That's how we came up with the total for the creditor. So for the creditor, we included Toyota and Trade Kings. Then the data, this data was the Chongwe, because we know that this person is what goes to this Chongwe Council on credit. Then creditor, Trade Kings, we aggregated Trade Kings value, Trade Kings, and the Toyota, for us to come up with the 3,040. Okay, so Toyota, so we aggregated these ones. All right, so the trial balance checks the accuracy of the double entry system. Okay, so checks the accuracy of the double entry system. So we can see that the addition of these ones, it has reconciled, because here we have 9,170, 9,170, so it has actually balanced. So that's the term trial balance. Okay, so it checks the accuracy of the double entry system for the debits and the credits. Okay, I'm sure you have understood this one. Unless there are questions. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we can end the class for now.
Good evening. Hello.